Hey there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Recap, where I share with you 5 stories of interest for asylum seekers and those who want to stay updated on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
Trump team explores major workplace immigration sweep in D.C. area. Homeland Security gives Salvadorans 6-year protective status extension. DeSantis calls special session to align with Trump immigration plans. Schools nationwide set up protections ahead of Trump immigration policies. Border Patrol operation disrupts California agricultural communities.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. All right, let's get to the news. First,
the Trump transition team explores implementing a large-scale immigration sweep, targeting workplaces throughout the Washington, D.C. region during its earliest days. 3 sources with knowledge of the plans revealed. The proposed operation sought to identify unauthorized workers across several sectors, including agriculture, construction, hospitality, and healthcare, with a possible launch coinciding with Inauguration Day. This signaled a departure from past administrations' focus on employers rather than workers, suggesting a more comprehensive enforcement strategy. Security experts emphasized that such operations demanded extensive logistical coordination and resources.
And up next for update number 2.
Homeland Security officials extended protective status for Salvadorans residing in the United States, pushing the deadline to September 2026. This ruling impacted roughly 234,000 individuals who had lived in the U.S. since 2001, preserving their legal work permits and residency status. The department pointed to storm damage in earthquake-affected regions to justify the extension. This development potentially complicated the incoming Trump administration's immigration agenda. The Salvadoran Protection Program, established in 1990 amid civil conflict, was one of several humanitarian initiatives, sheltering approximately 860,000 foreign nationals in the U.S.
All right, it's time for our 3rd immigration update.
Florida's Governor DeSantis scheduled an extraordinary legislative gathering for January 27th to modify state immigration policies to match President-elect Trump's forthcoming reforms, state authorities disclosed. After receiving briefings on Trump's immigration blueprint, the governor pushed to require Florida police participation in the federal 287G initiative, which delegated immigration enforcement authority to local agencies. DeSantis sought tougher consequences for officials disregarding federal immigration statutes and aimed to remove benefits for undocumented residents, including state tuition rates that cost Florida $45 million per year. This move aligned with Trump's planned Day 1 immigration overhaul.
By the way, if you want to stay updated on asylum and immigration reform news, then make sure to press the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. Okay, moving on, we're ready for update number 4.
Educational institutions nationwide initiated safeguards as president-elect. Trump signaled intensified deportation activities. Education leaders and advocacy organizations reported. School officials launched privacy rights training for staff and created family assistance networks, while teaching unions distributed resources for managing potential enforcement scenarios. Trump's incoming team discussed eliminating restrictions on school-based immigration operations, and his selected border chief favored resuming family detention practices. Administrators noted growing anxiety among students, with several districts reporting increased absence rates tied to deportation fears.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
A recent Border Patrol operation throughout California's Central Valley concluded with 78 individuals in custody, creating uncertainty across farming communities, local sources, and advocates told the Los Angeles Times. The extended enforcement campaign in Kern County, which officials described as targeting criminal networks, disrupted local labor patterns. Farm industry leaders warned of possible impacts to food production in a region responsible for 1/4 of the nation's food output. Though authorities maintained they focused on criminal targets, immigration lawyers reported difficulties finding and representing those detained.
And that concludes this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an Asylum Strategy Session so that we can assist you in securing your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.